Ever feel like the world's asleep, but your brain's buzzing at like 3 a.m.?
Yeah.
You're not alone.
Right.
You sent over this YouTube video about Nikola Tesla.
Yeah.
And his, I don't know, almost like mythical connection to this pre-dawn hour.
Yeah.
Want to untangle this together?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so we're talking about Nikola Tesla.
Yeah.
Visionary inventor, right.
Absolutely.
Basically electrified the modern world.
Of course, yeah.
But he was also known for these, what'd you say, unique habits, beliefs.
Right, and that's kind of where it gets interesting because you have this guy who's not just tinkering with light bulbs.
Right.
This is a mind that was obsessed with like the very fabric of the universe.
Yeah, and that's what I find so fascinating about him. Okay, so Tesla, this isn't just some inventor with like time on his hands. He was convinced that there was a deeper connection between human creativity and these, hidden energies of the universe or something?
Yeah, and and this is something that he felt particularly attuned to at 3 a.m.
Okay, hold on. So the video talks about Tesla believing that 3 a.m. was like a direct line to like quote-unquote divine energy.
Yeah.
Was he being literal?
Right.
Or was this something else? Was it like a scientific thing, like tapping into the Earth's natural rhythms? Or was this more of a spiritual thing?
That's a really good question.
I mean, the guy was ahead of his time.
Absolutely.
So it could be either.
Yeah, the video doesn't really give us a definitive answer, but if you look at Tesla's work, even his more what some might call out there ideas often had roots in like actual scientific principles.
Right.
So, I mean, take his fascination with resonant frequencies, for instance.
Okay. So you're talking about how everything has its own vibration, right?
Exactly.
Like how you can shatter a glass with the right sound frequency.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Tesla believed that the entire universe operated on this principle.
Whoa.
And it wasn't just about sound. He applied it to energy, even to our thoughts.
Okay.
So is it so far-fetched to think that maybe he believed that 3 a.m. had its own unique resonant frequency?
Right.
That could amplify certain abilities?
Okay. So maybe he wasn't just being eccentric. Maybe he was onto something.
Yeah.
But why 3 a.m.?
Yeah.
What's so special about that specific time?
Well, the video mentions this whole thing about 3 a.m. being like a liminal time.
Liminal.
Yeah.
Like a bridge between worlds.
Yeah, kind of.
Ooh, spooky.
Well, I mean, not necessarily about ghosts and goblins and things like that, but more like, this thinning of the veil between like our conscious and our subconscious minds.
Okay.
Right. And, cultures around the world have all these different ideas of liminal spaces.
Right.
Whether it's, twilight or thresholds or even, the moments between breaths.
Right.
They're seen as like these potent times when we can access, deeper truths or hidden knowledge.
Right. Okay.
Right.
So Tesla, with his fascination with these unseen forces and everything, he felt like 3 a.m. was like that.
Yeah, maybe he was trying to hack into
that. Was like a resonant frequency for that. Yeah.
Exactly. And and the thing is, Tesla wasn't just a scientist, right? He was also, a very spiritual person. Even if he didn't necessarily, adhere to any traditional religion.
Right.
He talked about tapping into this, divine energy at 3 a.m., which, yeah, it sounds mystical.
Right.
But maybe he was just describing, that feeling of clarity or inspiration that can hit you when your mind is quiet and receptive.
So it's kind of like those aha moments that you get in the shower, but like on a cosmic scale.
Exactly. And the thing is, for Tesla, this wasn't just like an abstract theory or something.
Right.
He structured his entire life around maximizing this like mental potential.
Right. We're talking about like the crazy sleep schedule.
Yes.
Right? Polyphasic sleep and all that.
Exactly. Those like short bursts of sleep throughout the day.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that's for everybody.
Right, exactly.
But for him, he was trying to squeeze every like creative drop out of his day, I guess.
It was all about maximizing that output. And, who knows, maybe those 3 a.m. bursts of inspiration were like a byproduct of that whole approach.
Yeah, and it's interesting because, I mean, like most of us aren't like trying to invent the AC motor.
Right.
But there's this like growing fascination now with optimizing our sleep and biohacking and finding those peak performance states.
Yeah.
So maybe he was onto something.
Maybe. What's so fascinating is that there's actually been some, relatively modern research that kind of supports this whole idea.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So like studies have shown that our circadian rhythms, right?
Yep.
Our natural sleep-wake cycles, they actually like influence our cognitive abilities.
Okay.
throughout the day.
Interesting.
Right. And guess what time some studies suggest might be linked to increased creativity and problem solving?
Don't tell me 3 a.m.
Yay, you got it.
Right.
Of course, correlation doesn't equal causation, right?
Right.
As they say. But it makes you wonder,
Right.
if maybe Tesla was tapping into something real with this whole 3 a.m. thing.
Okay, so we got Tesla,
Yeah,
brilliant, eccentric mind,
of course.
convinced that 3 a.m. is like this secret portal
Yeah.
to enhanced creativity,
Yeah.
spiritual
Yeah.
connection,
Yeah.
all this. But how does that apply to,
Right.
those of us who aren't,
Yeah.
electrical engineering geniuses?
Right. Right.
Should we all be setting our alarms for 3 a.m.? Right. Hoping for the best? Well, I don't know about setting my alarm for 3 a.m.,
Right.
but like this whole thing kind of makes you think about those like late night brainstorming sessions a little differently.
Yeah.
Like maybe there is a reason that I get my best ideas when the rest of the world is asleep.
Right. And that's the thing. You don't have to buy into the whole divine energy thing
Right.
to find some value in, like, Tesla's approach here.
So what you're saying is we can all learn from Tesla, even if we're not all, gunning for a Nobel Prize.
Exactly. It's about, like, paying attention to your own rhythms.
Okay.
Like those times when your mind is most receptive.
Wow.
Maybe it is 3 a.m. Maybe it's first thing in the morning. Maybe it's, when you're walking the dog. I don't know.
Right.
We're all different.
It's funny you mention that because the video actually talks about Tesla's obsession with walking.
Yeah.
Apparently he would get these like bursts of inspiration during his walks and even like claim to have solved complex engineering problems while, strolling through the park.
It's all connected though, right? Walking, those quiet moments between being asleep and awake,
Right.
even those times where we just kind of let our minds wander, they all kind of create that space for those, like, subconscious breakthroughs.
Yeah.
And Tesla was just, maybe ahead of his time in recognizing that. And even, let's face it, like optimizing for it.
So instead of trying to like force creativity on some kind of like, rigid schedule, it's more about like
Yeah.
paying attention to those moments when it kind of strikes and, maybe creating the right conditions for it to like, flourish.
Exactly. Exactly. And, who knows? Maybe there is something special about 3 a.m., right? That quiet time when the world slows down and our minds are free to wander.
Right.
Maybe Tesla was onto something with these frequencies and energies, maybe not.
Right.
But I think, it's safe to say that this little deep dive has given us a lot to think about.
It really has. It's given us, a whole new perspective, not just on Tesla, but on creativity.
Yeah.
Maybe even on the nature of time itself.
Absolutely.
And to our listener, the next time you find yourself staring at the clock at 3 a.m., maybe don't just roll over.
Yeah.
Maybe grab a notebook, jot down those ideas, and see where they take you.
There you go.
You never know. You might just tap into your own, like, inner Tesla. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep.